Hello English learners, welcome to our English learning channel Learn English Easily Through Stories. I am your host Robert. There was a young boy named Marcus, 21 years old, living in a dusty valley town nestled between dry hills in the south. He had a dream that burned in his chest every night, to open a chain of food stalls and build something his family could be proud of. But the weight of reality was heavy. His father, Raymond, repaired bicycles and motorbikes from a cramped shed behind their house. His mother, Diane, took in embroidery work to help keep the family fed. His 12-year-old sister Lily followed Marcus everywhere, convinced that her big brother could do anything. One cool evening, Marcus sat on the rooftop watching stars appear one by one. "I want more than this," he whispered. "But where do I even begin?" The next morning he told his father about his plans. Raymond set down his wrench, wiped his hands on a rag, and said simply, "Son, no dream comes without a price. Start small. Start with what's in your hands." Marcus turned the words over in his mind. Then he noticed something he had overlooked for years. The women in his neighborhood spent hours every week trekking to a market 2 towns over just to buy samosas and fried snacks. Nobody sold them locally. He had an idea. But he had no money to buy ingredients. So he walked to the market town and found a woman named Mrs. Coleman, who ran a small frying stall and was known for being sharp and fair. "Mrs. Coleman," he said, standing straight, "I want to sell your food in my neighborhood. I have no money to pay you up front. Give me 1 week. I'll sell everything, bring back your money, and keep whatever small profit remains. If I fail, I'll never trouble you again." The old woman crossed her arms and studied him. "Why should I trust someone I don't know?" "Because I have nothing to lose and everything to prove," Marcus said. "That makes me more reliable than someone comfortable." She was quiet for a long moment. Then she handed him a tray covered with cloth. "1 week. Don't make me regret it." Marcus carried the tray home on foot, set up a small wooden table near the neighborhood well, and greeted everyone who passed with a warm smile. People were skeptical at first. He offered small tastes. Word spread. By sunset, the tray was empty. That evening he returned to Mrs. Coleman with every dollar he owed her. She looked at the money, then at him. "Come back tomorrow," she said. For 2 months, Marcus walked that road every single day. He woke before dawn, collected the goods, sold them with energy and honesty, and returned every cent on time. He saved carefully. Eventually he could afford a small handcart, which let him carry more and reach farther streets. Then one of his regular customers, an older man who repaired watches, said something that changed everything. "Marcus, you're a natural seller. But if you learn to cook what you sell, you double everything you earn." The idea both thrilled and terrified him. He had never cooked anything more complicated than scrambled eggs. But that fear, he realized, was exactly what had to be faced. Nothing good arrives without effort, he thought. Not skill. Not success. Not trust. He went back to Mrs. Coleman and made an unusual request. "Would you teach me to cook?" She frowned. "If you can make your own food, you'll stop buying from me." "Why would I do that?" Marcus looked at her steadily. "Because you were the first person who believed in me. And if I succeed, I will make sure people know where I started, and who helped me get there." Mrs. Coleman was quiet again. Then she sighed. "Be here at 4 in the morning. And don't complain about the heat." The lessons were hard. His first batches came out wrong, too salty, too greasy, falling apart. Some mornings he sat beside the stove feeling completely defeated. But his father's words always found him in those low moments. No dream comes free. He kept going. He threw away the bad batches and tried again. After 3 weeks, Mrs. Coleman bit into one of his dishes, chewed slowly, and said nothing for a moment. Then, "That's good. You're ready." Marcus started cooking at home. His family gathered around him. Lily helped with the prep work, Diane kept coffee coming, Raymond occasionally offered to taste test with suspicious enthusiasm. His offerings expanded over time. The neighborhood noticed. "Marcus's food is different," people said. "There's something in it." Then competition arrived. A young man named Brandon opened a bright new stall across the lane. His setup had painted signs, colorful strings of lights, and a display case. Customers drifted toward him, curious. Marcus watched his own sales fall and felt the first cold bite of fear. But he did not panic. Instead, he asked questions. "What does Brandon's stall have that you like?" People told him it looked clean, organized, welcoming. The presentation made the food feel special. Marcus spent 3 days repainting his cart, covering it with neat cloth, and arranging his items carefully. He began offering a small free sample of something new each day. He studied how to present food properly and put real thought into every detail. Customers came back. An elderly woman named Eleanor stopped one afternoon and looked at him for a long moment. "Many young men give up the moment someone else does it better," she said. "You didn't. That's why we trust you." Her words stayed with Marcus for weeks. He saved enough to rent a small space near the main road. It was not grand, but it was clean, warm, and his. He called it Marcus's kitchen. His family helped run it. Lily charmed customers, Diane kept the accounts in a worn notebook, Raymond built the shelves. Life, however, was not finished testing him. One humid night as Marcus was cleaning up, he smelled smoke. A small fire had broken out near the cooking area, something with the wiring. He managed to extinguish it, but the damage was real. Much of his equipment was destroyed. The next morning, people gathered outside. Some shook their heads. Poor Marcus. Maybe that's the end. Marcus stood in the ash-smelling doorway and breathed slowly. "This is a setback," he said aloud, more to himself than anyone. Not an ending. He sat down and counted what he had left: money, equipment, people who trusted him. It wasn't enough. Not yet. He went to Mrs. Coleman, now retired and sitting on her porch. "If this had happened to you," he asked her, "what would you have done?" She smiled as if she had been waiting for him to come. "You already know what to do, Marcus. You've always known. You don't wait to be rescued. You work, and you let people see you working." He started cooking from home the very next morning, smaller quantities, whatever he could manage. He told his customers directly, "I'm rebuilding. I won't disappear. I'll keep serving you, even if it's only a little for now." The neighborhood responded in ways he hadn't expected. One family donated supplies. Another contributed equipment. 3 young men offered their weekend to help clean and repaint the stall. Someone passed a small envelope through Lily with no name on it. Marcus realized something he would carry for the rest of his life. When people see you refuse to quit, they want to be part of your story. Months later, Marcus's kitchen reopened, larger, fresher, with a new menu that included items he had invented himself during the difficult months. On the day of the reopening, the local councilwoman came and spoke briefly. "This young man has shown this neighborhood something important," she said. "That what you build through honest effort cannot truly be taken from you." Marcus stood before his neighbors and kept his words simple. "Everything I have, I earned. Everything I lost, I rebuilt. The only thing I never gave away was the decision to keep going." What this story teaches: dreams are not given, they are built, piece by piece, through choices made when no one is watching. Failure is not the final word, it is simply the part of the story before the comeback. And the people around you, they are not spectators. They are waiting to see whether you are worth standing beside. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Start with what you have. Do the work. Keep your word. The rest will follow.